I went to this small school in Houston, Texas, and across the street was a small low-income school where kids would go. And I didn't understand why it was that I went to a nicer school, and then across the street, there was a school with kids that didn't go to as good of a school. I actually would go there and teach them math and then dance. And then from there, I started tutoring kids in every subject. And then as these children kept growing up, they started needing help with their essays and their application and everything else. And they wanted to figure out what they wanted to do in life. They trusted me, and I'd become part of the family with a lot of these kids where, I'm going into people's houses and you become part of the family in a lot of ways. Really, it all started with tutoring as a volunteer to now, we work with students all across the world to get into some of the most competitive schools across the country. And then provide these teens with mentorship that honestly you can't get through the current education system.
And it's very clear that, there's a lot of little changes that we can do. So I'll send that over to you.
My name is Neha Gupta, and I'm the founder of College Shortcuts and Teenage Mastermind. College Shortcuts is based around really helping students find what they're passionate about through pairing them with mentors that are close to their age, and then helping them in the college admissions process of how do you actually interview, how do you put your resume together, how do you present yourself, and how to put together an application where someone has only maybe 3 to 4 minutes to review, but you really know how to stand out in the process. It was very natural to end up doing education because we had that running through our blood. My dad went to the #1 school in the world. It's called IIT, and it's the most competitive school out of India. And so he's always believed that school is one of the best ways. It's your golden ticket. It's the equalizer. I've had to grow up as a CEO big time in the last few years. At the very beginning, I was the 1-800 number, I was the tutor, I was the accountant, I was doing everything myself, and I didn't know what I was doing at all. It's actually really a nuisance to have to reach out to a developer all the time to make edits. I think it's highly inconvenient. It got to the point where I was like, I'll just make my own page. And I did. So when it came to building funnels, I think at the beginning it was stressful because I was still learning. But the minute that I understood it and I got it, it's made life so much easier. ClickFunnels allowed me to take what I did in one city and literally take it and just blow it up. Most people look at my testimonial page, they're like, ugh, it's ugly. But the truth is that page, it works every time. And when I first started with funnels, it's not like I turned on a funnel and I made a bunch of money. I wish that was the case for everybody. What I did was I created an online webinar, which I had never done before. Before, you just called in, you talked to us, and then you bought or you didn't buy. So this is something where I got to create my own training video, explain what is our process, how we do what we do, and some tips and tricks for parents if they sign up or not that they could learn. And I did 150 live webinars before I decided to, really take it to the next level in the webinar space. So at first in the online marketing spaces, we were selling online courses. But what we found was what worked was one-on-one coaching, which is what I specialized in to begin with. So for us, we took what worked and we 100x'd it. That's really what happened with funnels. It created opportunity and growth. I was a one-on-one person. I went to over 1,000 homes tutoring when I started this company. And this was during a time where people didn't feel comfortable paying online with their credit cards. And then I would go to the people's houses after sessions were done at the end of the day, and I'd go and I'd pick up checks. Imagine if you're doing that for a year's worth of salary amount. So to me, to go from that and then to get to where we are now, where we work with kids, not in Houston, but nationally and globally, and the ability to scale like that, that's all due to the fact that we built a funnel that worked. The fact that I'm not the one that's doing all the sales calls like I did for 9 years. I'm not the one doing the actual coaching. I can have freedom. It's made life so much easier. I can slow down. I have more pleasure and enjoyment in my life. So for me, it's just allowed so much more joy. And to me, I think that's really a huge level of confidence that only came after really understanding funnels and building online businesses and really making a difference. The second thing that's really big is I started my own foundation called the Dream Life Foundation. And that is to help funnel more projects towards nonprofit work. I never thought that I'd be able to build a school in Africa. But to me, I think the coolest part about it was, so I named my classroom the Gupta School of Dreams. I felt like naming that the classroom made sure that kids knew that they could have a dream and that they could make it happen. And to me, I feel that, if they have the right mentorship, it can make all the difference. And it's been the biggest growth. Our business scaled 400% in the last 12 months. I was making this much and I hit a wall every year because I thought that's all I needed, to when I went to Kenya and I realized how much more impact I needed to make, because I knew that I had a mission to serve on this planet. And I think that's why so many people love ClickFunnels, because it opens the world to what's possible. We could not scale to where we are today if I didn't create an online platform.